Oh, hi. I need to get my Model A truck out here, but it's hoarded in the pole barn here, buried in nonsense. Most of which is C10 parts. Oh, this T body can go somewhere. Oh, boy. The C10 is coming out maybe this weekend. Not gonna make any promises, but it needs to come out. Oh, check this out. I got this from my buddy Airstream Ted. Check out this old Kodak racing helmet, or hat. Not helmet, it's a hat. Old school, bruh. So that's neat. That's pretty neat. What's this? Oh, it's a denim apron for working. Oh, look at this. If I was a machine shop guy, I could wear this as my machine shop apron. Huh. Well, I got that for some reason. Put that over there. Like I said, the big thing is, here's the C10 doors in the back of the truck. These need to come out because the bodywork needs to continue. And I think I've maybe decided that I'm going to paint the bottom and the back of the doors, or around the window and the inside of the doors. Do the bodywork, get them in final primer, and then hang them on the truck with them back painted, and maybe paint the doors and the fenders on the truck in one piece. That will allow me to get them mounted and stuff, and if I got to adjust them, there won't be any scratching. I can get the mirrors drilled and things like that, get things working, then paint them instead of painting them all complete and then trying to hang them on the truck and not scratch things. I think that might be a better idea. Anyways, right now they are in the way. The car club I was in, which I'm not sure if I'm a member still or not. I think I paid the dues, but I haven't been to a meeting in, a year, so I don't know if I'm a member or not yet. Anyways, they're having a swap meet that I used to put on, and I don't have time to do it, so another guy's doing it, but that is tomorrow, and the weather is good. It's going to be nice, so I think I want to drive the truck. Too many parts and pieces, but I think I might try to get the C10 out of the pole barn here, maybe this weekend, and get it up in the shop, at least get it up there ready to roll. Ready to roll, son. Oh crap, I also got to get it inspected this month. Can we look at the oil? If I had a penny or something, I could take these Zeus fasteners out of the hood. I've got a dime. Let's drop a dime on it. Will the dime work? Yep. All right. Race car stuff. I got to swap the differential in this. The third member is leaking, but it's a 350, and I want to go down to a 2. Oh, I'm leaking oil and antifreeze on the intake. This thing is a leaker, but it runs really good. It's just a leaker. How's the oil? Ooh. It's there. When was the last time I changed oil? Who knows? I gotta look at the filter. And I just dropped my dime. Oh, there's the filter. Did I write the date on it where I can see it? I got it inside. It looks like it's fairly recently, but who knows? Is that the key? I think so. Will it start? Let's try it. Yeah, boy. What's going on? Why is this all weird? I put almost, let's see, put this truck together, there was 19,000 miles on the odometer. Now there's almost 46,000. So it's 19. So let's say 20 and 46, 20. I put almost 27,000 miles on this truck. That's a lot of miles. Alternator belt squealing for some reason. Some of my favorite trucks of all time. They're favorite hot rods I built. It always works good. How much gas do we got? Do we got enough to go to the thing tomorrow? Oh yeah. Oh, I hear a header leak. Where's the exhaust leaking? I got Rumflex gaskets. Shouldn't be leaking there. It's leaking down below or here or here. Huh. Where is it leaking? I don't know. Well, I just wanted to get it fired up here. I gotta leave first thing in the morning for the swap meet, which is like 20 minutes away, but I want to make sure it would start and run, because I'm going to take that. And it sounds good. It's got oil in it, and it's got gas in it, so I guess that's all I need. The idle's a little low. Why is it so lopey? Might have a vacuum leak or something. It's idling kind of low, like it's got a vacuum leak or something like that. Or some. Why is the speedometer jumping around like that? And where did the light go for the speedometer? There we go. Why is the speedometer jumping around? I love it. Well, I guess it's running. The doors are pretty close for the C10 here. I just got to do a little bit more sanding, mostly on the bottom where the cream's going to be, where the skin got hammered around, and a couple of spots here. But they're pretty close. The centers are mint. Just got to sand here. This one I haven't done any of the sanding yet. The passenger door, but it won't take much to straighten them out. And like I said, if I paint around here and paint the jams and stuff, back jam them, paint them all in, and leave the side out there. I might get the yellow paint or the cream paint or whatever it is, and paint the bottom of the cab with the cream here below this body line and the edge of here. Paint that, then hang the doors. I got the hinges here painted black, so edge the doors out, paint them. Like I said, hang the doors, get them lined up, put the windows and stuff in, put all the action on. I'll blow some blue paint up on here so I can put the rubber edges in. Then I'll just tape it on there. And if I paint this all blue to begin with, then I can just tape it off at the seams, where the seams are here, and use that to mask, just mask it off and shoot the door. It would be nice to paint the whole door first, but then like I said, I really got to worry about scratching them, putting them on, and scratching them, putting them together and stuff. I think it would be better just to maybe just paint the insides and hang them. And then when I put them on the truck, I can paint mask all this off, mask off the jam, mask off the whole truck, and just paint the doors and the fenders. So do the same thing, edge the inside of the fenders, hang the fenders and stuff on it, and then just mask off, or the fenders be easier to paint off, complete off the truck. Oh, you know what? I'm rethinking my action now. Let's think out loud. The fenders over here, they need to be painted, and then the cream needs to be on here, but it's got to be under the inner fenders. And I was going to put the inner fenders on soon so I can get the truck going. So, probably want to paint these complete, then put them on the truck. I'm going to only paint here blue and leave these all black. In here, paint them flat black under there. So I'm worried about running out of paint, so I'm just going to paint what I got to paint blue that's going to be seen under the hood here, and leave the rest of it black, because this is all hidden by the inner fender in here, so it doesn't matter if it's body color. But obviously I want to paint everything else here, but the cream color will get painted along here and along here, but it's got to go under the inner fender, so might paint these off the truck. We can use this guy as our display model. You can see what I mean by the inner fenders. They take up all the room on those inner fenders. Oh, you know what? Look at, they didn't. Oh, it looks like somebody rattle canned this truck black under the hood. Because look, there's blue on the firewall underneath the black. I think the underside of the hood on these trucks is always black. I'm pretty sure. I don't see any blue on here, which I'll probably paint the underside of my hood black as well. But you can see, I mean, I see blue here. Yeah. Most likely, I don't know. I mean, I guess it would be original. I don't know if anybody's ever painted this. I don't know how the factory did it. If they could just kind of like fogged it. Oh no, there's blue back here. Okay, somebody did paint the. That's odd. Or maybe they do that at the factory. They black it out. I don't know. Haven't really had too much experience with these trucks. Like this truck's bone stock. It's got like 98,000 miles on it. So maybe they do shoot it blue and then they fog the black on at the factory, I guess. So I guess I could paint this. I'll probably paint it blue wrap right around, because I already painted the firewall blue. I'll paint this blue here, and I'll just leave it black in there behind the inner fenders, and then of course this will be black here, the core support. And I think I am going to do the hood black underneath because it's going to be louvered and stuff there, but it'll look kind of similar to this. We also got to see if we can get this thing running and driving. They were checking for spark. I see it's got a brand new plug in it hanging out here, so they were checking for spark. Hopefully there wasn't any water that got in it from where it was. It's got the quadribog on it. Oh, I did it. Where's the stud? Can't get it back on there. Come on, man. Can't see it. Oh, boy. Oh, there we go. Bam. So, got to get this guy up and running. The old 354 barrel and the Deluxe A pickup here. So, we'll try that sometime. But for the meantime, boom. I do want to get the truck up in the shop, though, because we can do the Herculine around the floor, get the seat. I have a seat cover. We can cover the seat, put the seat in. We can put the engine and transmission. Now that I have the transmission, set that up, get all that in here, get the core support on, the inner fenders on. Actually, before we do that, we'll do the suspension lowering kit in the front and the rear, drop the suspension after the engine and transmission's in it. Then put the core support in the inner fenders or around the rest of the wiring. And actually, at that point, the truck can be started and we can move it around or get it running and driving. The weather's been absolutely horrendous. It was like 50 degrees and raining 2 days ago for like 3 days, but now it's going to be in the 70s and 80s for a couple days, and it goes back to the 50s. But we'll get the Buick out, and I actually want to drive it around a little bit with the Blueprint 350. With the original rear end, just to break the engine in a little bit, see how it goes, see if there's any issues, and then we'll bring it in the shop for a rear end video, jack it up, drop the rear end out, set the pinion angle, tack the spring mounts on, make sure everything's good, and then pull the rear out, weld the spring mounts on it, paint it, or prime it, paint it. I think it might already be primed by then. Paint it, put it in the car, hook up the brakes, and then that's got a break-in process as well, I'll have to break that in, but then be able to start driving this thing and using it more often. It should be pretty awesome to use. So we're like in the middle of May now, and weather's coming, and then I still want to work on the 37, switching this over to 12 volts. We'll see. Health update wise, I go for a vision, or not a vision, what do you call it? A thing that they do where they see things. I think a CT scan of my neck to make sure the artery's healed. Once in a while I get ghost pains in it still, but I guess it takes 3 to 6 months for it to heal. And right before I do like the rear end and stuff like that, I got the scan in like 2 weeks, so I'd like to have a picture of the neck artery before I do things like try to wrestle that rear end under there. So I'm gonna wait for that. So probably first week of June, if everything checks out all right and it's all healed up, I'll be bringing the Yellow Buick in and swapping the rear end, so that'd be awesome. But weather is finally broke, and I want to start driving this truck. I want to start driving everything. I also got to do some more work on the Mercury. Got to get the front end aligned still the rest of the way, and that needs a transmission work as well. But things are stacking up. Like I said, just wait for the scan to come through as okay, and then we'll get more direction from the doctor, but everything should hopefully be a-okay by then where I can continue on normally. Well, it's morning. I'm getting a little later start than I wanted to, but guess what? I'll get there when I get there. Oh, the truck's outside, ready to roll. Let's go, son. Oh. I built this truck in my 20s, and now that I'm almost 50, it's a little tougher to get into a chop channeled and sectioned Model A, 29 Model A Ford. Which key is it? All right, let's go. I'll be half an hour late compared to when I wanted to get there. That's fine. Alright, I'm back from the swap meet, and it was a really nice day. I just got a couple of trinkets I'll show you later. But then I got super rainy out for like the last hour or so. It rained pretty hard, so I went and I took the opportunity to clean up the 9-inch for the Buick here, for the 37 Buick. I used my stripping wheel and took all the mill scale off it, and I've just hosed it down some kind of random CarQuest brake cleaner. It says non-flammable, but I don't know if it's chlorinated or not, but it doesn't matter because we're going to epoxy primer it. I put a little bit of green tape on where the axle pads are going to weld on, so when I peel that off, I'll still have bare metal to weld to. I kind of just eyeballed it by measuring the car. And I've got this Spray Max 2K epoxy primer from Summit Racing, and I've been shaking it. You shake it for 2 minutes, and you take this red thing off, and you plunger the top. So I shook it for 2 minutes, so I'm going to take this off. Give me the plunger, son. There we go. And this has a 72-hour pot life on it, apparently, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to push this and push this. Did it plunger it? I got to shake it for another 2 minutes, but this is, since the epoxy primer, I'm definitely going to use a respirator because it's like glue, but we're going to epoxy the rear end of the drums. I think the backing plates are powder coated, so I didn't do anything to them. I'm just going to fog around the wheel cylinders here, or around the axle flange. Just blow some on it. This will stick to the powder coating, and then when I paint it black, it'll be whatever. But this is going to be under the car and be all grungy eventually anyways, but I want to have a good surface on this bare metal since it's brand new. We'll take the time to epoxy primer it and do it right. So I'll mix this up for 2 minutes, and then we'll start priming. Been moving things around. I moved the rear end back. I've got to let it cure for, I don't know, 10-12 hours, and then in the meantime we're going to do some other stuff. Because it's epoxy primer, I won't need to sand it. I can paint it tomorrow morning. I'll paint it black. Use some of Derek's what do you call it, Vice Grip Garage semi-gloss black that I have. But for now, we can get something out here for the end of the video. What is it? Let's see. Oh, it's the 400 small block for the C10. That's right. We're getting back on the C10 content. Right on. Right on. Check it out. The 400 small block's right here. Last time I worked on it, I put oil in it. It hangs down. It leaks oil out of the, what do you call it, the chrome freaking timing cover. The one thing I didn't change, it must leak around the thing, but the engine's leaning way down and it leaks a little bit, so I think being back it won't be as bad. I picked it up. It was sagging real bad without that support on the front of it, and then it was leaking oil, so I don't know. It's going to be a tiny little bit of a leaker, but what I want to do now is get the flywheel and all that stuff mounted on this thing. Maybe not in this video, probably the next video on C10 project, but get it all up. I got the bell housing over here, and I've got the TKX 5-speed, which is over here. Do you see it over there? Bam. And we're going to have to do some measuring. I've got a kit with a dial indicator. We're going to have to dial indicate the bell housing, make sure it's all leveled up and within tolerance to run the TKX. Bolt all this stuff together, put the transmission on it. Then I'm going to bring the truck in here. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dump this thing into the truck. And I can make a transmission mount for it, because they have kits for them, but they're expensive, so I'm going to make my own. We'll get the transmission going, then I can figure out what to do with the drive shaft. We can build the exhaust system. Then we're going to lower the suspension on the truck, put the inner fenders on, put the wiring on it, paint the core support black, put that in the radiator hoses, the truck and all the suspension down before I do the rest of the painting. We'll fire it up. Then I can paint the fenders and doors, put the front clip on, slam the box together, and we'll have it running and driving probably by the end of the summer. So, anyways, first thing I got to do is get this over here without tipping it over. I got to get it off this engine stand. And I've got the cradle, the Summit cradle over here. What are these things? Oh, they're off the Dodge. The Summit cradle here. Come here. And this thing is awesome, but here's the problem. It bolts onto the back where the bell housing goes here, if you see that. So that ain't gonna work. So I want to modify this to, I don't know how it's gonna sit under the back of the block or something. I've already got the oil in it with the oil pan. And if I bolt these to the engine mounts, it'll hold it where it's got to be. And then, oh, I also got to trim the engine mounts for the headers too. I forgot that. Nuts. And I got energy suspension urethane mounts on it, and there's a kit you put on the C10 instead of using the bolt up through, which is really hard to get at when you're putting in. It converts it to the later model style mount, and so you use the through bolt, and then it bolts onto the C10 chassis. I got those two we got to put on the truck. All right, I got the piece cut off here. I just cut them off, and I found a piece of 1x3 that fits perfectly, just a little snug between the header flange bolt pipes and the thingamajig there. So I think it's going to work out good. I just lost my wrench. Here it is. So I think we're going to dump off the engine stand, and we'll set this guy down. I think it's going to work out just grand. All right. Whoa, easy. Don't go nowhere. Go over there. Should be able to drop her right down now. Going down. Yep. Easy. Easy. Oop. How steady is it? Oh yeah. We're in the money now. That's going to work fantastic. And as you can see, I'm spinning this around. The back of the engine is completely accessible. We've got to put in our pilot bushing. I've got a brand new flywheel for it. I got new flywheel bolts. What else? Then we'll, like I said, next time video, I got a dial indicator. We're going to dial indicate around in the bell housing. You can get adjustable dowel pins if you got to shim your bell housing around, because they want the, I think like 3 to 6 thousandths or something like that run out of the transmission to the bell housing, so the TKX 5-speed bolts in perfectly straight. And I actually don't have a clutch for it. I got to get a clutch disc and a pressure plate from Summit. I got the 11-inch truck bell housing with, I got to use an adapter ring with it here, but it's going to work out well. Actually, let me bring it over and show you. We'll do a little sneak peek. Right here it is. Ouch. I've never tried it on the back of here yet, but I bought this for 25 bucks at a swap meet. Best 25 bucks I ever spent, I'm going to guess, because we can use it. And it's already painted orange. Look at that. This is, like I said, this is an 11-inch clutch, what do you call it? Flywheel, not flywheel, bell housing. So it'll fit the 11-inch. This came from the truck engine, so it had like the SM465 or whatever the 4-speed was behind it. This hole is too big for the passenger car transmission, so they sell an adapter ring that you press into here, which I have. And I could also use the Lakewood bell housing. It's on the Mercury, but I would have to render that immobile, and I think this bell housing is going to be fine. It's factory parts. The Lakewood one is steel, and it's multi-bolt holes, but it's also like explosion-proof SFIE or whatever, or SFI rated to get it out of the Mercury, I'd have to disable that car. And I don't really want to disable it right now. So I think we're going to end up using this. I got a ball stud and a brand new shifting fork I got to get for it. And it uses the factory, since the truck, I have the three on the tree clutch pedals and linkage. It's going to use the ball here, the ball pivot mount, which is on the side of this, which I don't know if the Lakewood bell housing has. So this is factory parts. I think it will go together in the C10 a lot easier using factory parts than trying to use the Lakewood one. And I'll be able to run 11-inch truck clutch. I think the flywheel is drilled for both 10.5-inch and 11-inch. A lot of people run the 10.5-inch clutch with the TKX car clutch because they're running in the car. And the car bell housing will not fit an 11-inch clutch as far as I know. Uh-oh. Get off there. Come on, man. Got paint on the, there we go. Here you see the bump out in the bottom there, that ribbed bump out. That's how you can tell these are truck bell housings. The car is a little bit flatter, and this has got, looks like a trash can lid on the bottom. So I should clean the paint off these because that'll throw the tolerance off as well. I want to get the shop cleaned up here because I'm going to back the C10 frame, the back of the truck, right in tight here, so I got room to work in front of it on the drivetrain and putting the seat together. And I still want to have the end of my bay open in case I got to do any work. Oh, here we go. Here's the Moroso needle bearing pilot bushing. I got to fit this to the transmission, make sure it's good, and make sure it fits in the crank. Put that there. I've got all the parts, like I said, except for the clutch. I wasn't sure which clutch to buy, and I got to do a little bit more research, but I'll buy the clutch, and we'll get this thing all dialed up. But this 400 is going to be ready to dump in the C10 first thing when I get it up here. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. I don't remember if you've followed along. I cut the floor out. Actually, where is it? It's here somewhere. Here it is. I actually cut the floor out of the truck here because it was a 3 tree cab. Or, well, only the big trucks, I think, or trucks with 4-speeds had a removable hump, but they sell a removable high hump for these trucks, so I cut the original floor out and bolted in the removable high hump, so they'll have complete access to the back of the bell housing and most of the top of the transmission here by cutting this out. And I should grind these edges down before I get cut. I just saved this just because, but so I cut the cab and put the accessible floor in it, so that make putting this engine and transmission in the truck very, very easy. Make cutting the hole for the shifter very easy and things like that. So I like to have removable. If the truck had an option for a removable transmission hump and you can get it, like my 80 Dodge did the same thing. The 80 cab didn't have the removable hump, but the 75 parts truck had a removable hump, so I cut the 80 floor out and put the 75 removable hump in, which they don't reproduce. So it's a little rusty. I got to fix it, but I would much rather have a removable transmission tunnel on anything I work on. It makes it a lot easier. So that's that. I'm gonna go through my stuff here and get organized and move things around and get prepared to get that truck in here. And you'll probably see that next time. And we'll be back on C10 content. I know you guys probably been waiting, saying he's on diplomats and garbage and junk, and he's over here and over there. Guess what? Bam, here you go. We went from Model A's this morning to C10s in the afternoon. And, oh, I forgot to tell you what I bought the swap meet. I bought a couple of blue dot taillights, but I bought these neat little shorty, like J.C. Whitney lake pipes that were on my buddy's 56 Olds custom that he bought from... He said everything on the car came from J.C. Whitney in probably 1962-ish. And these are short little lakes pipes. I'll show them in some other video at some point because they're not accessible right now. They're all put away. But that's all I got was a couple of trinkets there. But the lake pipes are pretty cool. So I don't know if those are going to go on. But when you see something cool, you should buy it. That's my advice for today. I got some cleaning up to do. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. This is awesome. I can't wait to get back on the C10. Put it together, big model kit, assemble it, a little bit of paint and body work, at least have the front half of the truck running and driving. The box might be in primer, but we should be able to get it on the road and shake it down this year, towards the end of the summer. So looking forward to that. And then I'll probably think about this winter, most likely chassis jig, start working on the Daytona project. So that'll be awesome. Thanks for watching. See you next time.